further ado, I'd like to introduce a friend of ours in the travel industry, Scotty Horn, the Business Development Manager for Arizona and more states for Celebrity Cruises. Scotty, thanks for coming on today, bud.
Thank you, Ryan. I really appreciate it. Thank you to Wendy and Catherine and the entire team at Bon Voyage. You guys are always so good to me and so good to Celebrity. It's a real privilege to be your market sales manager. And while I get to cover all of Arizona and New Mexico, I have to say, in my heart, in all honesty, Bon Voyage is one of my favorite groups and my favorite accounts. So thank you.
We love that. We're excited to share Celebrity Cruises with you today. So I'm just going to turn it over to Scotty. The floor is yours, my friend.
Well, thank you very much. Well, hopefully you have a cup of coffee with you or something like that to enjoy your beverage while we're going through this. And that's hopefully what you're seeing on my screen. So I am Scotty Horn, and as Ryan had mentioned, I am the market sales manager for Arizona and New Mexico. So let's jump right in. My presentation will be about 35 minutes. We talked about the questions already, so let's just jump in and realize that we've got 12 very beautiful years that we have been named the best premium cruise line in the industry. And we take that very seriously. We believe in that. And
Scotty,
yes,
we cannot see your screen right now. If you'll just share your screen there. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, let's fix that real quickly. So we'll go back here and we'll adjust this. And I thought I was sharing my screen, but let's just make sure. There we go. Are you seeing a cup of coffee now?
I do. I think you're good.
All right. Sorry about that. Which is good. All right. So we are developing a new feel, meaning new luxury, because modern used to be our slogan. We were modern luxury, but modern means a lot of things to different people. And sometimes people aren't always engaged or intrigued by modern. And since we are always trying to make things fresh and different and always at the cutting edge, we believe that new really is setting us apart. We are part of the Royal Caribbean Group. We're owned by Royal Caribbean. And in the family of brands, there's Royal, Azamara, Silver Sea, and of course, Celebrity Cruises. And we feel we're in our own little niche market here at New Luxury. We've won 178 awards. Celebrity alone has won these. And so we are always pursuing excellence. Our promise is to open up the world. We believe that is done through immersive experiences. What's important to us is really important to you. And I should say what's important to you is what's important to us. That's a better way to word it. We've done that by building our company on 5 distinct pillars. The destinations that we take you to, the design of our ships, the accommodations we provide for you, the culinary excellence that we provide, and the wellness programs that we provide. So regarding destinations, we select amazing places for you to visit, local experiences that are unique and personalized. And I think no one else does it like we do on our 14 modern ships. The design is creative and special. Top architects like Kelly Hoppen, Nate Burkus, Tom Wright, and Scott Butler were very much at the helm of designing our new ship Edge. Modern and eye-catching elements throughout. Our breathtaking accommodations like this sweet living room you're looking at here. It's comfort, it's relaxation, it's a home away from home feel. Outstanding suites. And I'm going to go into that in just a moment. We really have a strong culinary calling at Celebrity. We partnered with Daniel Laboud, which began back in 2019. He's a Michelin-starred chef, and he has restaurants across the globe. He has truly enhanced our culinary program, and I think he's gone above and beyond our imagination. We also have one of the largest wine programs at sea. We've been the winner of many spectator awards. You see those up here on the screen. We have competed with many exquisite land-based restaurants to win these awards. And I myself, as a wine enthusiast, I have over 200 bottles in my own collection. And I have to tell you, I'm personally proud of these awards And the wines that we select for the ships are some of the very finest you'll ever find. So lastly, not just pampering, but self-enrichment, rejuvenation, relaxation, all of those key words that, kind of ring our bells, is what we feel with our spa. It's an inspired aqua class experience. It's not just pampering, but enrichment, rejuvenation, relaxation. The spa aqua class staterooms have their own restaurant called Blue, but this restaurant featured here, the Spa Cafe, is open to all guests. There are cutting edge treatments, innovative programmings, and we've even developed a partnership with Goop, which is a health brand that's owned by Gwyneth Paltrow. So all in all, when we look at that and we look at everything we put together, we believe, and our mantra has become, that we truly want to provide the world at your service. Now, I believe that our service is intuitive. It's experienced everywhere on the ship, whether you have a personalized butler in our suite class, retreat class staterooms, whether you have a standard stateroom attendant, it's the poolside butler, the sommelier, or our crew just tends to know exactly what you want even before you know what you want. It's little things like that that I think make the difference. It's personal experience of watching bartenders juggle, pouring into a pyramid of martini glasses and not missing a drop. My stateroom attendant has been humorous and yet at the same time professional and really evoking world-class service. So when you order your favorite cocktail or Pellegrino or anything like that at dinner time, and you do that at the beginning and the outset, by night number 3, I can guarantee you, if you do it 2 nights in a row, by night number 3, it's already going to be at your seat waiting for you or delivered before you even ask for it. It's attention to the smallest details that make the difference. So let's step forward in time and look at the new Edge Series class ship. First, and aptly named, was the Celebrity Edge. She debuted in 2018. And then second of all came the Apex. She just arrived this April, and unfortunately, due to the current environment, she hasn't had a chance to even be inaugurated yet. But she will be very soon. Each ship holds about 3,000 guests. It's comparable to our Solstice class, which we have 5 of those ships in that class, and then our slightly smaller Millennium class, and there are 4 of those. We then have, looking at how Edge was designed, she was designed in 3D. The Innovation Lab was how she was created. The designers could actually look at her, feel the design of her, even before construction began. So the results have been absolutely stunning. And here are just some of the many features. The first and foremost, and probably most distinctive, is the magic carpet. Excuse me, everybody. It's bright orange. It can be recognized from miles away. It becomes many different venues, believe it or not. Al Fresco Dining for our sushi restaurant, which we call Raw on 5. She's an extension lounge of our resort deck on deck 14. And then she's also an extension of our rooftop terrace experience at the Rooftop Garden on deck 16. Also, you can enjoy dinner on this venue down at deck 5. It's only happens once or twice during the cruise. You have to make your reservations in advance, but can only be done on board. And as I said, because it only happens once or twice, space is really limited. There's the Rooftop Garden. I just brought your attention to her. I love the wraparound wooden benches. It's an incredible space that has flush flora, neat wraparound bench seating here. Then you have live entertainment that sit in the bases of those light pedestals. We even will show movies under the stars, which we call Taste of Film. And we'll show a foodie style movie. And then while you're watching the film, we're going to serve you bite-sized elements from the movie itself. It's just an incredible experience. And then there's dining at the Rooftop Garden Grill. It's very casual, It's real outdoors. It's just an enjoyable optional dining venue. Here is our theater, and this theater is truly a reimagined space. There's not a single curtain in sight. It hosts panoramic projector screens and video mapping laser projectors. Don't ask me how they work. I couldn't tell you, but it's an incredible visual experience. It's an ever-changing feast for your eyes. And if that weren't enough, there's more amazing elements, such as a real waterfall and water fountain features on the stage. The stage itself moves. The shows are all self-produced, and they're constantly being updated. So we really do bring you the best entertainment at sea. Another distinctive feature is our stunning and lively epicenter called the Grand Plaza. This space, I think, just radiates energy. It lures guests in from morning until well after nightfall. The floor-to-ceiling lights that you see here are all individual LED lights. Throughout each evening, there's a spontaneous flair where the bartenders will perform and juggle and do all sorts of of things. Then the music will quiet down. The space gets really quiet and it grabs everybody's attention. And then the light show begins with each of those individual lights synchronized to the music. The bartenders perform at the same time, and we call this pop-up entertainment. It's fun to see how, as it does get really quiet and then the show starts, it becomes a spontaneous excitement. And I think one of these performances is so enjoyable. You can get together with your friends or your family that you're cruising with and have a cocktail and just watch the show. It's outrageous. During the day, it's a very quiet space to be. There are times, too, that there will be a piano player just playing piano music. So the lounge takes on many different feels throughout the day, throughout the cruise. Here is a space that's unique and is a showstopper unto herself. We call this space the Eden. It really changes as well. In the daytime, it's very quiet. As you can see the suspended ramp in the background, it has a wonderful view out to the back of the vessel. And it extends from either side to give you little niches of conversation space, or it's a perfect place to read a book. And then in the evenings, performers are suspended from artistic sculptures. They're interactive entertainment, so they'll interact with you. There is no stage. It's definitely a place to check out a couple different times throughout the cruise. Now, I will tell you that that glass is 7,000 square feet of outward-facing window space, complete from side to side, and expands 3 decks high. Here's the resort deck. Again, I love these floating lounge chairs on the water's edge. It's the largest pool at sea at over 25 meters. Ample space for sunbathing or just to enjoy the sea air. Now here's something new. Now if you're watching some of the slides in the beginning before we started the show, you'll see this. It was introduced from the edge. We call it the Infinite Veranda. It removes the divide between your stateroom and the balcony. It creates an open space, making the whole room feel like it's part of the veranda. It leaves an unobstructed view to the outside from anywhere in the stateroom. And almost all the staterooms that are verandaed staterooms on Edge and Apex are actually veranda style, this Infinite Veranda style. With a push of a button, the top pane of glass will drop down and let you actually stand and enjoy the open air. If the weather's inclement, then you can push the button and close the window and you have glass so that you still get to see the outside. There is a blackout curtain that will drop from the ceiling to the floor, and then there's also sheer curtains as well. Want to have the real balcony experience? You can barely notice it in the picture, but there is a accordion style door that will close and close off the room from the veranda. So here's something that's very different. I love this, and that is that we have the Petite Chef. It's absolutely unique. It's a feast for the senses. it comes alive with 4 different little 3-dimensional cartoon chefs. They each will cook a course and compete with one another for who fixes the best course. It is really quite fun and comical. The audience at the end votes by applause for who their favorite course chef was, and then they lead out a parade across the dining room. It's just really quite fun. As we look at the different ships that we have in the fleet outside of Edge and Apex, we are going through what we call a revolution. It's not just refurbishment. Spending $60 million per ship. We are bringing the highest standards and elements of Edge to Apex to this, because you may be familiar with, redoing of carpets and drapes and upholstery and things like that, but this is gutting the ships to the bare hull and rebuilding them as brand new. I love our live growing grass lawn, and that is a real lawn on our Solstice ship. And these new cabana seating arrangements are really quite fun. And then on the right, you see our new lounge called Craft Social. It's the home of IPA and craft beers, hence the name, but it really is a fun and inviting space. When you look at the redesigned rooms, floor-to-ceiling windows, marble baths, and I gotta tell you, these baths are larger than most of our competitor ships in the same type of category class. As you look at dining venues across the fleet, they've been completely remodeled. That 2-story glass window in the back is just now fully coming alive and becomes a centerpiece, even though it's in the back of the dining room. You have a luxurious feel without it being pretentious, and it's fresh and clean. And yes, there is a modernness to it, but it's just very inviting. Here are the many different dining options we offer across all 3 of our classes of ships, the Millennium Series, the Solstice class, as well as the Edge class. And you can see some of the restaurants are featured on all of our ships. For particular, here is the Tuscan Grill. And as you enter, it looks and feels like you're entering through a wine barrel, and that really does begin to set the mood for a wonderful dining experience. Raw on 5 provides an a la carte and some of the best sushi you'll have, I think, on Earth. And then, of course, we've already looked at Eden, but there's the dining portion of Eden on the lower level of the Eden. Next, I want to talk about the retreat. The retreat is what we're calling our suite class. Now, it's exclusive to Celebrity. I think it really makes for an unparalleled vacation experience. Guests that stay in a retreat suite have their own restaurant called Lumine. They have a private lounge that's formerly known as Michael's Club, and a private outdoor pool, cabana, floating chairs, and sun deck. It was introduced with Edge, but will be available fleet-wide once the revolution is complete on all the ships. Right now, 3 of our ships have gone through it, and so it's available on those 3 as well. The retreat guest has everything. They have 4 perks. Now, that's what we standardly provide. And you can choose when you book your cruise from no perks at all to 1, 2, 3, or 4 perks. The 4 perks being the beverage package, and when you book a retreat suite, your beverage package is raised from classic to premium automatically. You get your unlimited internet, prepaid gratuities, and $300 to spend on board. Now that's per stateroom, because typically it's $150 per person. Now, suite guests, we believe also should get more, and boy do they. This list is too long to read, and there's no sense in my doing that. Your travel advisor at Bon Voyage can certainly show you the full list. It's available in the brochure. But let me just say that while you get an exceptional room size, your sleeping accommodations are exquisite. We have our own brand of exhale bedding that are just pure 100% cotton sheets and plush duvets. You have a pillow menu that you even get to choose the type of pillow that matches you perfectly. And we have premium bath amenities and so much more. But if you prefer a small ship and that small ship experience under 300 guests, let me just say I can match that perfectly. If you want to stay within the retreat surroundings, with the restaurant, your own lounge, your own pool and cabanas, you can do that. And then if you want our casino and our big theater and to enjoy the rest of the ship with the general population, you can do that too, and then go back to the retreat. If you like ships like our size and with other brands, I'm going to give you absolutely more for the same dollar amount in item for item. I just believe that our retreat experience is simply the best. So I want to surprise you a bit here because even some of my travel advisors haven't been aware of some of these extras. But when you book a suite and it's above our Sky and Celebrity Suite class, so every suite above that gets these extras on top of everything else. Your bottled water, soda, and beer is restocked daily, absolutely complimentary. You have unlimited dining in all of those restaurants that I mentioned, outside of Dining in Blue, absolutely free for every meal, lunch, and dinner. Then I'm going to give you 2 full-size bodies of premium spirits of your choice prior to the cruise beginning, and we'll put them in your stateroom at the outset. You add complimentary laundry service twice during the cruise, VIP canapes and priority luggage delivery. That becomes a huge value. Let's look at that value. Add all of those things together, and the value of that is at $1,875, just under $1,900. Now, let's go ahead and compare real quickly a concierge stateroom. It's 202 square feet with a 42 square foot veranda. The retreat, and you book a royal suite, which is the lowest class that gets these extras, is 687 square feet with a 72 square foot veranda. The concierge cannot access the retreat, and yet, obviously, the royal suite has full access to that pool and the lounge and the cabanas. There may be no perks included at concierge rate, or there might be even 1 or 2, but all 4 perks and the beverage being premium is automatically included. The guest in concierge dines in main dining. The suite guest at royal has Luminé. Specialty dining costs them extra. It's all included all the time in the royal suite. Then obviously there's the extras. You get priority seating. You have your private butler and extras galore. So when you add all that together, it's an amazing value that for a small amount of money gives you all the extras. So let's look at some of those retreat suites. Here's the iconic suite. And I gotta tell you, there's only 2 per ship. It splits the ship in half from side to side. It's directly above the bridge, and the panoramic views are outrageous. Want to guess the size? It's 2,500 square feet of combined deck and indoor space. There are 2 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, and will accommodate up to 6 guests because 2 additional guests outside the bedrooms can stay on the sleeper sofa. How about this for a master bedroom? Would you like to wake up and have this view every day, or even take a nap and just watch the water go by? Outrageous views. There's a 2-story villa. It's very much the loft or apartment feel type of experience. The master bedroom is upstairs. There is a full bath upstairs. The living space is in the lower portions you can see on the lower right picture. There are 2 full baths, 1 upper and 1 lower. And the folks staying in the loft or these edge villas have direct access to the retreat area and the thermal spa. This will only accommodate 4 guests because 2 can stay on the sleeper sofa and 2 stay in the bedroom upstairs. But one other bonus to this, you like that deck? Well, it has its own 3-foot deep private plunge pool as well. I think that's spectacular. Let's look at some of the other suite types. On the upper left, you picture the penthouse suite, 4 sliding glass doors across the middle of the living room, 2 full master bedrooms, 1 on either side, and 2 full master baths, each on either side of the living space. So this will accommodate 6 guests, as 2 additional guests can stay on the sleeper sofa. The royal suite accommodates 4, and then the celebrity and sky suites are a bit smaller, and they don't have those few extras I talked about, but they're beautiful suites in and of themselves, no doubt. So when you look at the retreat, you also have the lounge at Michael's Club, the outdoor pool and resort area. The restaurant Luminé is pictured on the lower left, and then one of our suites is there on the lower right. Believe it or not, Time Magazine has named Celebrity one of the world's greatest places. Who would have ever guessed that a ship would be the destination? But it truly is. And I am thrilled that Time Magazine has chosen us to be one of the world's greatest places. So now you can say the ship is the destination. But with that in mind, where will we take you? I believe in 20 and 21 and 22, we're going to take you to the Caribbean and the Med. Now, both will home port, and this is for the Edge and Apex. They're both going to home port in Fort Lauderdale and do Eastern and Western itineraries. The Apex will sail to St. Thomas and St. Kitts. The Edge will sail to Tortola and the Virgin Islands and St. Martin. There's the famous beach right there on the bottom left. And you have to experience it as those planes come flying in when they do right overhead. On the western, you've got, sorry folks. On the west, you have Key West, Costa Maya, Cozumel, and Grand Cayman. And the Apex will replace Costa Maya with Belize. That's the western itinerary, and they'll alternate each week doing Eastern and Western. There are several departures for each throughout the winter months. And each ship will then go across the transatlantic. So if you're looking for more sea days, there are options to do that, and you can accompany one of these ladies across. 15 nights on starting April 18th on the Edge. The 14th night starts on May 1st aboard the Apex. The itineraries when we get to the Mediterranean are summer and fall of 21. And we believe right now most will be repeated in 22. Now, the Edge will offer 10 and 11 night sailings. Here's a 10 night that calls on Italy, Croatia, Montenegro. And then the 11 night calls on Italy, Turkey, and one of my absolute favorites is the Greek Isles. Both are a round trip out of Civitavecchia. It's 40 minutes from Rome. You can enjoy a city stay here and obviously the Trevi Fountain. And it's a great place to do a pre or post city stay. Both itineraries visit Naples and have access to Mount Vesuvius and Pompeii. The 10 night sails to the Gulf of Trieste, calls on Corfu, which is pictured here, which is in Dubrovnik, Croatia, which is a stop along the way. I've been to this beach twice, and it's as lovely as this picture portrays it to be. The 11 night doing the Greek Isles will go as far east as Istanbul and visit Santorini, which is pictured here, and the stunning island of Mykonos. This picture is of Ayla Beach Club. It's 20 minutes drive by taxi. It's wonderful and relaxing. I've been there as well. Incredible pictures are available. You can just walk out, it seems like forever into the water before the depth drops down. The Apex is going to give you a variety of itineraries. They're a bit shorter. They're going to be 7 and 9 nights in length. Both will include Spain, France, and Italy. And while the Edge is going to home port in Rome, the Apex will home port in Barcelona. The architecture, the sites, the cathedrals such as the La Sagrada Familia and the Gaudi Cathedral pictured here. I've been there as well. You gotta see this firsthand to really believe it. There are so many different architects that have had their hand in the mix on this one. They all have their own style, and it's been going on for hundreds of years, and the work still isn't done. The alfresco dining along the footpath here in Barcelona in the center of town is just a highlight. It's wonderful. The food's great. The service is lively and entertaining. And the hospitality of the Spaniards are just amazing. In addition to the 7 and 9 night options, Apex does have a number of 12 night options coming in 21. The two are almost identical. Pictured on the top, you've got sailing to Sète, Marseille, and to Ajaccio, which are all very French intensive. and then it calls on Santa Margherita, Italy. While the itinerary on the bottom will then call on La Spezia in Italy, both then afterward remain identical. They're going to call on Rome, Naples, Valletta, Malta, and finally Palma de Mallorca before returning back to Barcelona. This particular 12-night option aboard Apex will call on the beautiful Greek Isles, Spain, and Malta. There are 6 dates in 2011 to choose from. If you're wanting to do something that's a little more exclusive when it comes to your shore excursions for just the 2 of you, your family, or your small group, you can create your own private journey or excursion. You ask your Bon Voyage advisor to help you. Then together with our teams, who are either from the area or are very familiar with it, we'll put together an excursion that is uniquely and exclusively yours. When it comes to getting you to the destination, Flights by Celebrity is an amazing option. We give you our 4P promise. We guarantee you the best price. You can earn miles on your frequent flyer program. Unfortunately, you can't use miles, but you can earn them. You can pay later. You book now, guarantee your space on that plane and on that flight, but you don't pay us until final payment. And then we also offer you protection. And the protection is that we guarantee we're going to get you to the destination on time. And if we don't, all the extra meals, the flights, hotel stays, transfers, even if it means getting you to the first port of call because we didn't get you to the port of embarkation, is all on us. Now, there are other brands who will offer you somewhat of the same guarantee, but we take it a step further, and we guarantee getting you home the same way. If you have a flight scheduled with us, and for whatever reason it's delayed, we're going to make other arrangements to get you home in that same timely manner. It's as important for you to get home from your vacation as it is for you to get to your vacation. So we give you the 4P promise. If you want to enjoy your stay in the embarkation city just a little bit longer and you want a 2 to 3 night pre-post option, there is something more. We call it a city stay option. It's in addition to just a night prior experience. The night prior is just truly to get you there. There are hotel options, there are transfer options, but this includes adding transfers, city tours, some meals. It's really in a bit of an extended vacation experience. When we look at Alaska going into 21 and 22, we have the Solstice, 3 ships actually to give you your service. We have the Solstice that will take you round trip out of Seattle, departing on Fridays. Our Eclipse does 7 nights round trip out of Vancouver, and that departs on Sundays. And then our Millennium does one-way Vancouver to Seward, or one-way Seward back to Vancouver, and that departs for 7 nights, but gives you the option to add 2 to 6 nights additional for the rail portion and going to the interior of Alaska. There are 10 different cruise tours to choose from. Each one, it does get to experience the Wilderness Express dome card, like you see in that picture there on the lower left. You do get to make sure you visit Denali National Park, and it can be accommodated either pre or post. I will tell you that the experience, and I've done that twice, has been absolutely incredible. What a great way to see the interior of Alaska. Last but not least of my itineraries, I want to talk about the Galapagos. We have 3 ships to choose from. Extensive, private, and luxury is the only way to describe it. First of all, the Galapagos are 600 miles to the west of Quito, Ecuador, and we sail there year-round. Just last June, I was able to go to the Galapagos and sailed on the Exploration, as you see it there on the right, that only carried 16 passengers. We only had 8 guests on board. You have an Expedition, middle-sized ship that carries 48, and our brand new, absolutely ultra-luxury Flora that carries 100. And let me share with you the fact that when I was on my trip, I took over 300 videos, 1,200 pictures, and it seemed like at every turn, every moment was a, oh my goodness type moment. But as we introduce you to Flora, She has been named the most eco-friendly vessel at sea. She was designed specifically for the Galapagos, and now she has been named the most luxurious ship in the Galapagos. Every stateroom exemplifies that standard. And when I say she's all-inclusive, she's truly, absolutely all-inclusive. Your 10 and 11 night package starts with being greeted at the airport in Quito by a Celebrity Cruises rep. You have all of your transfers. Your pre-stay for Quito in 2 nights is here at the 5-star JW Marriott. You get to relax and unwind that evening. All of your meals are included. And then next morning you have a full city tour of Quito. And that's the 2-mile high city. It's absolutely outrageous. And then you have your transfer back to the airport the next day, which will take you to Baltra, and that is where you board your vessel. 7-night cruise. The ship gets back. We fly you on our own chartered plane from Baltra back to Quito. You get a transfer back to the Marriott for another full day, your meals, an evening meal, a day room, and then your flight transfer back to your to the airport for your flight home. If you wish to add on more time, if you've got more time to spend and you want to add Machu Picchu, you can certainly do that. And then your flight home is from Lima, but then you end up getting 6 additional nights for the Machu Picchu add-on. As I said, all of your meals, your beverages, your excursions, and there are 4 a day that are included, absolutely included. There are no perks needed. So when I shared this next offer with you, it takes it a step beyond your imagination. Now you get the Galapagos, and the second guest goes 50% off. I'm going to give you free round-trip airfare for both guests from here in the States to Quito. Now, if you want to use business class or first class type seating, you can do that. I'll give you a value of up to $750 for your seat on the air I was going to offer you. So I'll give you $750 and you can upgrade to business or to first class. But I'm going to give 50% off the cruise fare on the second guest. And that's good on all 10, 11, and 16 night packages for all 21 and all 22 sailings. So I'm sure at this point, some of you are beginning to ask, when are we going to sail again? What are the safety measures that we're going to put into place? And will we fill the ships? So I want to give you some assurance, and I want to calm some of your nerves. While I don't have exact answers, I do want to share with you this. Richard Fain, our CEO of the entire Royal Caribbean Group, has promised us, he's promised our travel partners like your folks here at Bon Voyage, and he's promised you directly that we will take no risks. We will ensure the highest of our safety standards. And he wants you to know that we are going to, and we really hope to be in the water in service this fall. As a global organization, we believe in all of the values that you see here. Supporting education for everyone. That's why Malala Yousafzai is the godmother of the Edge. We have 3 female captains. We believe in diversity. And as we want to care for the environment, we want to sustain it the very best way we can in everything we do. So with all of those things in mind, and with what we're going to do with how we sail again, we are the only organization and the only cruise line group to be given a full green certification from the CDC. Well, what does being green and being certified green really mean? And I will tell you this way. We developed a panel of experts from around the globe representing scientists, economists, top doctors and health professionals. And this team of 11 has really led the way to the way we will cruise in the future and with what our CEO Richard Fain has shared with us. The CDC themselves have participated in this panel's discussions. They've accepted our submissions and are giving us their full support with our plans for complete alteration to our air filtration systems, our food service, the handling of our guests prior to, during, and post-cruise, and while at ports of call. And so while we don't have an exact date right now, our CEO, as I said, truly believes we will be back in service in late November. You can ask your travel advisor at Bon Voyage to share with you a short and informative video from Mr. Fain himself. They also have resources that will keep them updated on our progress. Just be assured that we will do the right thing the right way. And that has really become a mantra of the companies. And while they even know and acknowledge it costs more to do that, they believe it's well worth it. So we're going to really take this one day, one step at a time, and follow the CDC's guidelines. But we just have some great things coming, and some things that we've already submitted that have been approved that I am still sworn to secrecy on sharing. But just understand that this group has done an amazing job for leading us into the future. So I want to say thank you for joining me today. I want to say thank you for your time and listening. So I have two special offers for you. They are my own show special offer, and that's on the left. Starting today through September 25th, for any January 5th through December 31st, 21 sailing. Now, because the Galapagos, as I've already said, is all inclusive, I can't add anything to it, but for every other sailing, every other departure, every other destination, if you book a retreat suite, I'll give you an additional $100 per person on board credit. And then if you book an aqua class or a concierge class stateroom, I'll give you one night of specialty dining to experience on me. So it's a Scotty perk. It's combinable with our current celebrity offers. It's not provided by celebrity themselves, but I'll individually add it at the time of final payment. So you'll see it on documentation at that point. The other offer we have for you today is for booking an Alaska cruise. You'll save up to $200 per stateroom, or spend on board, I should say. And everyone's going to get free beverages. We'll throw in our classic beverage package. And you can save up to $500 on the stateroom on top of that. So up to $200 additional OBC, free drinks, and a savings for booking an Alaska cruise. And what just came out an hour ago that Ryan alluded to is if you book your air with us right now for any Caribbean cruise, for the booking window is from today. Actually, it was coming out last week, but it got delayed. So today through September 30th, the sailing range is January 2nd through April 24th. It's the Caribbean in the winter months for Edge, Apex, and Equinox only. Now, while it doesn't show Phoenix on here, we can get you to LA. Some of you will drive to LA. But if you do that and then go to the Caribbean out of LA, we're going to get you $300 off your vacation when you book your air with us. It does include all the staterooms of inside, ocean view, veranda, concierge, aqua class, and the retreat. So we want to look ahead. We call it looking through the windshield and not the rearview mirror, but we believe there is so much waiting for you. We can't wait to welcome you on board. And I'll end my portion of the presentation before we take your questions and answers by, I love to say this, and the mantra is mine. I hope that you make today a hilarious hump day. And I want you to remember the perseverance you demonstrate today will result in rich rewards tomorrow. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Scotty. We appreciate it, bud. Let's jump in on a few questions that came through all of our viewers today. Can you just let us know, somebody wants to know about the Constellation and when refurbishment will be complete. If you didn't cover that, if you could go over that again.
Okay. The Constellation is going through her revolution. The scheduling got changed and altered due to COVID. And I don't have the new updated dates for Constellation just yet, but we're expecting her to get done as soon as we get the green light. We're thinking January, February, or March, but that date could get changed or pushed out.
Okay, so Jody should feel rest assured her cruise in September of 2021, Constellation should be easily ready to go by September then, if you're saying early 21.
Let's hope. Let's hope
Right.
things don't get changed again.
I know that's the one thing we know for sure is constant change. That is exactly where we're living. You went over some of the really neat special things about the Edge and the new ship Apex. Somebody was asking specifically, what are some of the major differences in silhouette and the Edge Apex ship designs?
Oh my. Well, the silhouette is part of the Solstice class. And so that was, completely different in that it has the live growing grass lawn on the top deck. And we've put the rooftop terrace and the resort deck up there on decks 14 and 16. So the layout there is different. One other element is the silhouette has one main dining room for general dining, and Edge and Apex both have 4 small boutique dining rooms. They're all different in their design and decor. They're all complementary, but there is one that is Cyprus, which is Mediterranean, Tuscan Grill, which is all Italian, the Normandy being French in style and decor, and then Cosmopolitan, which is truly world dining. So those 4 boutique dining rooms make up our main dining, and guests will move around from dining room to dining room throughout the cruise, whereas the main dining on Silhouette is the one big main dining room. That's one big difference. The Infinite Veranda is the other. There aren't any of those on Silhouette.
I also love the magic carpet. That would be an
That
easy one to go to. I was waiting for that, but for sure. I know the food experience, the culinary experience on Celebrity is an important piece of everyone's travel. I think a lot of people talk about the sites that they go to, the tourist attractions, how they feel on a trip, but everyone seems to talk about, oh, remember that one meal, that great meal. I thought I would add this. I have my Daniel Laboud cookbook here ready to go. You did mention his partnership and his French cuisine is outstanding. I've met Daniel at a Celebrity Cruises event in New York City. I was a guest of Celebrity Cruises that night, had a chance to sample some of his menus, and I can attest to the fact that they are fantastic. But can you talk just a little bit more about Le Petit Cafe?
You mean the Le Petite Chef?
Sorry, the Le Petit Chef, yes. Yeah, the chef.
Okay. I've done it once myself, so I'll talk about it from that perspective. There is a projector that sits over the table up in the ceiling, so you don't even notice it. It's unobtrusive. The tablecloth is pure white, and there's just kind of this image of what looks like a plate on the tablecloth. And all of a sudden the lights will dim and everything comes to life. And as we show that picture, and it looked like there were flowers and everything all over everybody's arms and all over the tablecloth in 3D, full color, the table comes alive. And this little chef that stands maybe about 2-3 inches tall pops up out of the tablecloth, and he runs around the table and creates your meal. And will actually, with what looks like a giant fork he's trying to lift, he'll throw the carrots from his cooking saucepan onto your plate. And he'll even grill a steak, and you can hear it sizzle, and then he flips it over and then tosses that to your plate. And when he's done with this little video creation, just as the lights are coming back to normal, your waiter is placing your plate down in front of you of exactly what that little cartoon chef just made. And that's the way it's created for all 4 courses: the salad, the appetizer, the main course, and dessert. And entertains everyone. There's a lot of laughter. And as I said at the end too, everyone will applaud by who they thought was the best course chef. And then that chef comes out from behind the kitchen in real life and parades around the dining room. It's a hoot.
Love it. Love it. There's one thing to have a great meal. There's another thing to have a dining experience. And I think that's what separates a lot of the restaurants on a Celebrity ship from other ships. You can have great food, but it's the entire dining experience. And love that one that you have there. Can you just go into...
Let me interrupt you
go
and
ahead.
say this too, just as a final thought on that. That experience we bought the rights to, and there is no one else that will be allowed to have unless they create their own type of 3D imagery for that. But that whole program, whatever that truly is, we own the rights to it. So you won't get that anywhere else ever.
That's awesome. Let's maybe wrap up. You put out some great promotions for our clients here to think about. I would encourage them, like you said, reach out to your Bon Voyage travel advisor to understand how to really maximize those promotions to fit the itinerary of choice. But one last thing, Scotty, talk to our people about cruising with confidence. What has transpired with all of the stuff going on? Why should we book with Celebrity? Give me some of those confidence reasons to go ahead and put that deposit down.
Sure. Well, we're going to let you make a change to your reservation at your whim, at your desire, on your schedule, right up to 48 hours before departure. And should you choose to postpone, we're going to let you do that and give you 100% of what you spent in a future cruise credit. Now, if we cancel a sailing and you've stuck in there with us to the very end and we're the ones who do the canceling, we're going to give you 125% future cruise credit or the option of a refund. When you cancel, unfortunately, you don't get a refund, but you do get 100% of what you spend towards a future cruise credit. Now, the other thing you can do, we have is a system that we developed called Lift and Shift. And that kind of is a goofy little name. But if you have, let's just say, a cruise booked for November 1st of this year, and you choose to change it, we'll let you move it to any ship right around that November 1st a year later, within a 4-week window. So 4 weeks earlier to 4 weeks later, you can say, you know what, I'm not going November 1st of 2020, but I'll go from about October 1st to November 31st of 21. We're going to give you everything you just had on that cruise and just push it toward that next itinerary. That's an option for you. But we're going to let you make that decision and make your change and choice of change right up to 48 hours before departure and protect you every step of the way.
We're really happy to see the cruise lines and Celebrity in particular, in this case, be so consumer friendly with some of these changes. And a lot of people in the industry have done this, but you guys are one of the first that jumped on it very quickly. People outside the industry have asked me, how do I think COVID is going to impact travel? And clearly it's impacting it right now because it's shut down. But when it comes back, I do believe it's a more consumer friendly environment for someone to have more control over their vacation experience. And you guys are right up there with the best in regards to your terms and conditions.
Right.
So I wanted to highlight that. Let's just finish up by saying thank you to our viewers. We appreciate you guys for sticking with us. Thank you, Scotty, for joining us again, albeit we can't do it in person. I'm at home. I think you're at home as well. We're doing our civic duty as we're social distancing here. And I like to actually say physical distancing. We can still be social across Zoom. So thanks for joining us. For those of you that are watching us today, jump on our website, bvtravel.com. You'll have a chance to see all of our webinar series, catalog of supplier partners and destinations that we have lined up through the middle of October. So join us again next week at 3 o'clock right here on the bvtravel.com website. You'll find who's up next. So stay tuned and we'll see you then. Scotty, thank you, and we'll talk to you soon. Be safe, everyone.